Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. On today's video, we're going to be smoking up some Wagyu beef back ribs from Midland Meat Company on my Yoder Y640 pellet smoker. Stay tuned. You can see, look at this bark. It's crazy. Oh man, this is perfect. It helps to start with a nice sharp knife, okay? Oh my goodness. Look at that. All right, so I've got three beautiful Wagyu beef back ribs from Midland Meat Company. So thank you, Midland Meat Company, for providing the ribs for this cook. And I also want to thank Proud Souls Barbecue because they're the reason why I got involved with Midland Meat Company. Chris and Dan and Tony got me in touch with Midland Meat Company. So I want to thank you guys for doing that for me because it's turned into a pretty good relationship with Midland Meat Company. So again, beef back ribs, they don't have a ton of meat on the top. There's a lot of good meat in between the bones, and that's what we're gonna be cooking up today. So I've got three different rubs that I'm gonna use. I've got one from Victory Lane. This is their beef rub and seasoning. The second rub that I'm gonna use is this one that I haven't used. This one is from Uncle Steve's Shake. This is their thick meat rub, and I see a lot of people using it, so he sent me some to try out. And then the third rub that I'm using is this bovine bold from Plowboys Barbecue. This stuff is really good. This is one of my new favorite rubs. It's really good beefy flavor. And again, the Victory Lane one is my all-time favorite, but this one is moving up really quick, okay? And I can't wait to try this one from Uncle Steve's Shake. So I'm gonna try to keep the ribs in that order: Victory Lane, the Uncle Steve's Shake, and then the bovine bold. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna place them like that on the smoker so I don't lose track of them. So the surface is a little bit dry. Now the membranes have been removed from the back of the ribs. So I don't usually use olive oil, but in this case, because the surface is a little bit dry, I do want the rub to stick. So I'm using a little bit of olive oil on both sides, just to get that rub to stick. I wish I had some pins or something to, when I do these comparison cookings like this, I wish I had some pins to be able to keep track of them, like with numbers on them or something. Somebody ought to make those. All right, so I'm gonna move two of these racks away, okay? The first rub, again, is from Victory Lane Barbecue. This is their beef rub and seasoning. And all three rubs, I looked at them really close. They all have a really similar color. You'll see that here in a little bit. This is the first rack. Look at that, good amount of pepper. I think all three rubs have some decent amount of pepper. So there's no doubt they're all gonna be really tasty, but we'll see how they compare. All right. So the second rack, I'm using this Uncle Steve's Shake. Let's do the back first. Ooh, this one's got more pepper. I like that. And I did shake them. Yeah, it's consistent. That pepper is, it's good. So you can tell that there's a difference in rub. On this one, a little bit more black pepper. You'll definitely be able to see it on this side. So Midland Meat Company did a really nice job of trimming these ribs. Again, I didn't have to do anything. Just take them out of the package. They come vacuum sealed. And Proud Souls Barbecue is actually opening up a second store, I believe somewhere by Colorado Springs, if not in Colorado Springs, and they have their one in Denver. And you can get this meat from them. They may not have the ribs, but get with the boys over there. I'm sure they'll be able to order a rack for you, or 2 or 3 or 4. Look at that. So definitely more pepper on this Uncle Steve's Shake. This is their thick meat, okay? And the third one I'm gonna keep in the tray just so I don't mix them up, but I do wanna bring it in the picture. Just gonna do the top side. I'm sorry, this is the bovine bold. I was about to put some of that Victory Lane on there. So this is the bovine bold. Look at that. This is definitely a richer red color. A little bit less pepper. But I gotta tell you, I've cooked plenty of beef product with this rub. and it's really good, really tasty. Oh, it smells good too. So I've got my Yoder pellet smoker set at 180 degrees right now. And I'm gonna run it at 180 for 2 hours. Then I'm gonna crank it up to 250 for an hour, and then probably 2 hours at 275. Now I built a program. I'll show you that program when we get outside. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm outside at my Yoder Y640 pellet smoker, and I wanna show you the program that I built on the Yoder drive program. Let me see if you guys can see that. Okay, so I built a program, and I'm gonna run it for 2 hours at 180 degrees, and then 250 for 1 hour, then 275 for 1 hour. Then I programmed the smoker to hold the temperature at 250. Okay, now I will be coming in to check on the smoker, but essentially I don't have to mess with this for about 5 hours. Okay, and so this is going to give me enough time. These will be ready by dinner. And am I going to wrap? I don't know. We'll see what the ribs look like. But I just want to show you that you can build a custom program like this, and then you just hit start on the program, and it starts your program, and you can start the cook. So the smoker is already up to temperature. It's already up to 180 degrees, and it'll run at 180 again for 2 hours. It's already counting down. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and load my ribs. Again, I'm gonna try to keep them in the order that we talked about inside. Now keep in mind, when you open a smoker like this, your temperature will come down a little bit, okay? So these are the Victory Lane ribs. Here's the Uncle Steve Shake. And here's the Bovine Bold ribs. Okay, now I will not be rotating them or moving them around in the smoker on the rack, but I will be moving them front to back. Okay, so I will be just kind of rotating them around, but I'm going to keep them in the same position. I got my damper about halfway out. So why am I smoking at 180 degrees? You can see the amount of smoke that you get at 180 on this smoker. It's going to really lay a good flavor of smoke on these ribs. So we'll see you guys in about 2 hours, right when the smoker hits 250. Stay tuned. All right, so the smoker's been running at 180 for 2 hours, and it just switched over. Let me see if you guys can make that out here. So it just switched over to 250 degrees for 1 hour, and not sure if you guys are going to be able to see that. The sunlight is just horrible. But anyway, it just switched over to 250, and it has been running for 6 minutes now, and the temperature inside the pit is 223. Now, I haven't opened the pit at all, so I'm going to assume that the surface of the ribs is going to be a little bit dry, so I've got some spritz just in case. And again, the pit is ramping up to 250 right now, so let's take a look here. Yeah, as I imagine, the surface is a little dry again. It's been running at 180 for 2 hours, so I'm just going to give it a light spritz just to keep that surface nice and moist. It's a little breezy out here, so I apologize if you're getting wind noise. So there we have it. So again, the smoker's going to ramp up to 250 degrees. It's going to run there for 1 hour, and then it's going to kick up to 275. I believe I set it for 1 hour as well. Yeah, 250 for 1 hour and 275 for another hour. At that point, I programmed the smoker to hold at 250. At that point, I'm going to come back and check the ribs and see if I'm going to wrap or not. I'll get an internal temperature and check for tenderness. So stay tuned. All right, so 4 hours, and the program again has defaulted and holding at 250 like I programmed it to. Oh man, look at that. So I haven't opened it in a couple of hours. I'm going to go ahead and spritz. The surface does look a little dry, and I'm going to go ahead and check for tenderness and temperature. I'm at 178 degrees. 189 in the back, 183, 199. Okay, so they are probing kind of tender. I don't know. Let me see. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap in butcher paper because I don't want to lose that bark. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap in butcher paper. And this is the time where when I wrap, I'm going to go ahead and rotate the ribs a little bit. Okay, so again, we're sitting at about 185 average. I'm gonna let them go at 275. I'm gonna go ahead and increase the temperature to 275 and let them go for another hour wrapped in butcher paper. So at that point, we'll see you guys inside. Stay tuned. All right, so our beef back ribs are ready. Let's check them out here. I'm going to take them out in order of the rubs. And they smell amazing. So here are the Victory Lane ribs. And these next ones are the Uncle Steve's Shake. The thick meat, I think he calls it. Man, these are gonna be so good. And then the last one is this Plowboy's Bovine Bold rub. The butcher paper is saturated with fat, okay? So that's what they look like there. I'm gonna take one rib off of each rack just to try them. Let's do that one. This is the Uncle Steve's Shake. There you go. And then here's the Bovine Bold. I gotta tell you, all three of them look amazing. The bark did hold together, obviously using that butcher paper. So you can see them there. Again, this is the Victory Lane right here. This is the Uncle Steve's. And then this is the Bovine Bold right here, the last one. So let's give them a taste. Stay tuned. All right, so I've got the ribs cut up. Now let's give them a taste. I don't know which one I want to start with. I think I'm going to start with the Bovine Bold. I'm going to try to get a meaty one. Again, these beef back ribs don't have a lot of meat, but the meat is in between the ribs. So here we go. This is the Bovine Bold. Good smoke ring. That's good. Little salty. I pick up a lot of salt, but a good beef flavor. That's good. Now the Uncle Steve Shake. I've never tried this one. I never even tried it out of the bottle, so let's check it out. It's a good meaty one. All right, that's got a good beefy flavor. You can see the smoke ring on these ribs. Look at that. Good beefy flavor. I got to tell you, still maybe not as salty as the Bovine Bold, but still a little bit saltier. Now I'm going to try the Victory Lane rub, Old Trusty. Here we go. Look at that. Right out of the gate, it's not as salty. Good flavor. All three of them are really, really good. I gotta tell you, I do have some Victory Lane Gold Dust that's got some brown sugar in it. I think to counter the saltiness from these two racks, I bet if I sprinkled some of that Victory Lane Gold Dust over these ribs to kind of counter that saltiness, these would be perfect. In fact, I might still do that after I finish this video. But these are, the Bovine Bold is, for some reason, I had it before and I really loved it, but maybe I applied too much on the rib, but it's really salty, okay? The Uncle Steve Shake is really good. Again, it's a new rub for me. And it's not as salty as a Bovine Bold. Good beefy flavor, so I'm really happy with it. I know that you guys want me probably to grade these ribs on a scale of from 1 to 3. I'm going with Victory Lane, and not just because, you know, I represent Victory Lane, but it's just not as salty. Really good flavor. All three of them have really good flavor, but I think the salt or the saltiness of these rubs is kind of a deal breaker for me. But they're really good. I wouldn't turn down any of these ribs. Okay, that's just my taste. You guys might like salt a little bit more than me, but really good flavor from all three racks. I gotta tell you, I'm really happy with these ribs. That YS640 did an amazing job on smoking these ribs. Again, total 6 hours smoking. Again, I started at 180 for 2 hours and I ended up with this product. So one last thing, if you guys want to get a nice custom chopping board like this, check out HaleyHome.com. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box. Click on that link. you'll get a discount. These boards are not as expensive as you would think. So thanks for watching. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit Barbecue. See ya.